Yo, did you guys miss me? Be honest. Yo, in the comments, before we even start the video, just let me know in the comments if you missed me. You can be honest. You could say, no, I don't even care about you. You could say, no, I don't know who you are. Or you could say, yes, like I low-key missed you, your videos, your voice, and the beautiful beat that plays in the background of all of your videos. Yeah, but low-key, I've been super busy, bro. Like I said, moving, finals week, personal stuff. And then I just had one of the craziest weekends of my life hosting the Rolling Loud live stream for people around the world to watch. I interviewed, oh my gosh, literally everybody you could think of, bro. From Rich the Kid to Hard Rock to BK the Rula to Laserdem to, I don't know, bro. I'm gonna have a vlog dropping soon though. It's probably one of the craziest vlogs in underground history. But I had to return because we got an article covering none other than 2hollis, and you know it's White Boy Winter. So I think we should cover it. Before we get into it though, if you're new to the channel, please drop a subscription. And if you're not new, drop a like, drop a comment, and I appreciate the support. But yeah, so 2hollis just did an interview with this magazine called, or website called The Face, and starts off by saying 2hollis tenacity is finally paying off. Like, that's the title of the article. It says, after various experiments, not least medieval themed trap, 2hollis has risen from the underground with elfin looks, a mosh pit commanding presence, and a formidable sound that sneaks pop hooks into pulverizing rage rap and EDM. And so yeah, what a great way to describe 2hollis music. Is definitely pulverizing rage rap. This interview was conducted over Zoom, and there's a lot of interesting quotes. First off, in regards to the Ken Carson tour that he went on, he said, quote, I got booed off stage a bunch of times at the beginning of that tour. But I was just like, you know what? F this. I'm going to keep pushing it because they're going to get it. And it worked. It was crazy. It ended up being so insane. And yeah, like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but during the Ken Carson tour, 2hollis was like getting booed really incessantly, like especially at the beginning of the tour. And there was like videos all the time of him getting, you know, people not moving to his music, people literally booing him on stage. And like there was eventually just one shift, like I forget, there was like a specific show where like people started to turn up, and then from there the tides just changed and you would see his music all over TikTok. And I think that combined with the tour would be like a really big push to the start of his career. Another thing about this interview is that apparently this is post-tour and not the Ken Carson tour. I believe he's been on tour on his own now, because the Ken Carson tour literally elevated him to the point where he can tour on his own and pull crowds that come to see him as the headliner. But apparently he has a little post-tour illness, which he attributes to the American spirits. Quote, don't smoke, kids. Smoking isn't dope. I don't think it's cool. And so yeah, American spirits are like cigarettes for those who don't know. And apparently they gave him a bit of an illness, which is, bro, like, I don't know. I only smoke cigarettes when I like drink alcohol, which hasn't been that often as of recently, but like when I do smoke cigarettes, it like I always the next day like I'll have a cough or mucus, or like it's definitely kind of gross. So is vaping though. Like I don't know, I think that we got to start weeding off the nicotine, man. It's getting too rampant. But he also talks about, it's weird how they keep describing 2hollis as elfin, and talk about his platinum blonde hair extensions and how he was like a fantasy loving child, which is something that we've talked about before. But he said he's going to be returning to that old self soon, saying, I'm returning to my old self in a beautiful way. This is the true Hollis. And true Hollis, get it, like 2hollis. But yeah, they were saying that he grew up in Chicago, and the school he went to didn't have a playground for him to go outside and play with his friends and stuff. So instead he would create his own games and like keep a record of the complex lore of the characters and stuff he created in his red leather notebook, which is like, I don't know, bro, that's some real like, whatever, bro, I'm not a bully. Another thing he created though, he created holidays. Okay, so similar to creating games, he created public holidays such as Muhaha Day, which falls in December, exactly 2 weeks after Thanksgiving, and that's a time when a dragon named Muhaha transcends his dimension to visit us and leave kindly tidings. And apparently he created it as like a way to get a pocket watch from his parents before Christmas, because like, you know, during that November-December period, whenever you ask your parents for something as a kid and they'll be like, no, it's almost Christmas. Apparently he just created this fake holiday to get a pocket watch, saying, I was like, I'm just gonna create my own holiday and pre-order that shit. Apparently in elementary and middle school, 2hollis was also a bad kid, a class clown, getting suspended and expelled twice for starting a fist fight with a pupil who had insulted his mother. And that's something we're gonna get into later in the video, but he does bring up his mother and kind of like a way that people have been insulting him about. So I guess that's been a theme throughout his life. His imagination, though, is kind of what saved the day for him from these bad kid incidents, which I don't know. I feel like as a kid we all go through certain suspensions. One time I like slapped the kid. I got expelled in middle school, but like you grow up. Like high school, I don't know. Getting suspended in high school is way worse than middle school. I feel like middle school we're all kind of just exploring the world. But yeah, he said that world building and lore have always been part of me, and I feel like music is the perfect medium to express it. And yeah, I guess this is a theme similar throughout his family, because if you didn't know, John Herndon is his dad. This dude was a producer and drummer who was a member of like, it wasn't a huge band, but they were super cult fan base. Tortoise is like a Chicago post-rock band. A lot of people actually call them like the pioneer of post-rock. And he had gifted 2hollis Ableton software for Hollis's 11th birthday. And that's where he kind of developed a passion for making beats and, you know, scrolling Reddit, scrolling YouTube, scrolling Discord, and like kind of getting into this whole production side of things, which is one of the main things that separates him from a lot of the other artists, I think. And you know, due to having a famous father as well as a famous mother, which we'll get into in a sec, this kind of has given him a lot of what he calls Nepo baby shit, you know, being accused of being a Nepo baby, and that his success is really due to his dad's background, his mom's profession as a high-profile publicist and artist manager who works with, you know, The Weeknd, Skrillex, a bunch of shit. But apparently, quote, she's never represented me. She's never done publicity for me. She's never planted me in meetings with anyone or put me in sessions. What matters the most to me is building this myself. And I mean, it's super cool to hear that, like, there's not any industry intervention within his music, and he's kind of creating the whole world, like he said. But I mean, you have to take this with a grain of salt, because it's coming from 2hollis, and you know, when other musicians or other labels hear, oh, did you know that what's her name, Catherine or something like that, did you know Catherine's, well, I don't know if that's her name, but did you know that this lady's son like makes music? Like, it'll come up in conversation, and it definitely does make things easier. And I think he should acknowledge that, because there's a lot of fans and just people in general who make music, and even if they made as good of music as 2hollis, they wouldn't get a look from any labels or anything like that. So I don't know. You don't have to address it, but I feel like it would be cool to. Apparently he started making music in 2018 as a 14-year-old, and he emerged first under the name Drippy Soup. I guess that was his original artist name, and he would kind of dress like a mix of Justin Bieber and Chief Keef, you know, like the early 2010s jerk subculture, with a black backwards hat, belted light pants, dirty blonde hair. And his music was kind of a mix of glitchcore, Chicago drill. And he said, quote, fools didn't get it. And fools didn't, bro, that's like a Cemetery quote. That's like exactly what Cemetery would say. Low key, is 2hollis just a Cemetery clone? I don't know. But yeah, apparently he changed his aesthetic during the pandemic, where he would get into what he calls nightcore. And again, this was like inspired by, you know, the medieval times, which is something he was really into, I guess. Apparently he was a super like history nerd. Like in another interview, he said that like back in the day he would dress up as a Titanic passenger or something, wearing like I don't know, wigs and like pelted suits or something. I don't even know. But yeah, he's been grinding for a long time and recently joined Interscope, which is a home to a lot of big artists such as Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, Blackpink, and the deal was marked off by the explosive and euphoric track Gold. This was the first song to drop under his new deal, and this was actually co-produced by a Playboi Carti and Ken Carson collaborator, Jonah Abraham, and it's definitely one of his biggest songs so far, probably because of the music video that came along with it, the high budget music video, as well as the money they were able to put behind promotion and stuff. Yeah, he says, "I want to be the biggest thing in the world, so I'm not afraid of that." He was saying that in regards to the immense pressure that comes for any artist who blows up so suddenly, especially when you have these, you know, Nepo baby allegations on your name. And it's really cool to see 2hollis grow from, like, I don't know if you guys know White Tiger, 2022. That was like such a rap EDM, like a lot of people's favorite project of him. If you're like into the deep cuts of underground and stuff, then White Tiger is probably what, you know, you're familiar with. And actually, speaking of White Tiger, there was this little rumor that went around lately of a Snow Strippers and 2hollis collab, although, you know, the evidence behind that is kind of shaky. I'll explain it though. So basically, the Snow Strippers dude, what's his name, Graham, he posted to his Instagram story and he was like teasing new music or something, and he was like, "I'm not gonna say too much, but there will be signs about new music." And with that message, he posted a video or a screenshot of a video with like a white tiger playing with a dog or something like that. I'm just going off my memory, so it's a little shaky, but a lot of people thought that because White Tiger was in the video, this was an allusion to 2hollis' project White Tiger, which kind of shares a bit of a similar aesthetic to Snow Strippers music specifically. So a lot of people thought, oh, is Snow Strippers gonna drop a song with 2hollis? And although I think it would be a really cool sounding track, I don't think that, you know, being newly signed to this label and having a bunch of success in this solo music, that 2hollis would collaborate with Snow Strippers. I feel like he's trying to just stay in his own lane. He doesn't really collaborate with many people outside of his own little circle, you know. I mean, he collaborates with them musically, sexually, possibly. Like, have you all seen that picture? Yeah, though, it's cool to see another 2hollis interview from The Face. And The Face actually did a Yeet interview as well. And let me know if you want me to go over that in another video. Thank you for watching this far. Stay tuned for that vlog, bro. Trust me, the vlog I'm dropping is going to be crazy. But yeah, drop a subscription, drop a like, drop a comment, and peace.